Would you feel safer in a gun-free state? Why or why not? Here in Ireland, our regular police, Gardaí, don't even carry guns. There are armed units. Guns exist. Hunting is a sport and farmers might have them for rabbits, etc. I feel extremely safe. I don't ever even think about gun violence here. I live in Japan, basically gun-free. Even with a gun murder yesterday, I feel greatly safe from gun violence. Now the elder drivers swerving into lanes randomly not so safe. I live in Iceland. I'm more likely to win the lottery than run into someone with a gun. I feel very safe, but not because there is no guns. Mainly because I'm in Iceland. I live in Taiwan. It has exceedingly strict gun laws. It's also one of the safest countries in the world in terms of risk of violent crime. I feel very safe even walking alone at night through dark alleys in the city. I am from Brazil. Technically speaking, it's a gun-free country. It's very hard to get a gun here. Of course, I am only considering it legally. Even with a gun or permission, you really can't leave your house with it. It's completely illegal unless a judge or court allows you. Yet literally every 15-year-old thug in the street has a Magnum or something. I feel terrible, unsafe, and to be honest, hate the violence from here. Everyone I know was robbed at least once in their lives, and I would feel a lot safer having a gun at my house. Since the state is completely unable to remove the guns from the criminals, or at least arrest some of them and not release 1 month after. I'm from Switzerland and we have a lot of guns. They have a much different status than in the US. Most people have served in the army and know that they aren't a toy or something to show off, but a deadly weapon that needs to be treated with respect. Switzerland is very safe and I feel safe there too. I moved to Austria where guns aren't as prevalent, but still exist. I don't feel a difference. In the US, it's not the existence of guns that would scare me, but the huge amount of maniacs who are ready to shoot anyone before asking questions. I'd feel safer in a culture that didn't fetishize violence. Overgeneralized. The tool makes only so much difference in the face of a sick culture. That said, if dangerous tools are readily available, they will be used, especially by a sick culture like this one. If those tools are more efficient, they will do their task more efficiently. These are all factors. Northern Ireland here. Despite my region's reputation, I have never seen a gun here outside of a policeman's holster, a museum, or a dedicated clay pigeon range. Luckily, gun safety isn't a concern for me. I live in Australia. We are not gun-free, but we are low guns. I feel safe. I live in Canada. Never seen a gun outside of military or police. I have also never really felt unsafe as a default. So, I live very close to where Canada's worst mass shooting took place in 2020. My niece's kids lost their aunt and uncle, on the father's side, to the gunman. One of the victims waitressed at a restaurant we eat at. The man drove through our town during his time evading the police. And yet, I still feel extremely safe. This type of thing is so rare here. It barely crosses my mind to need a weapon. I moved to Germany from the US and I don't just feel safer. I am safer in literally every sense. The chances of me or my family being the victims of violent crime are much lower. Depends where, but most likely not. I live in Czechia. People can own guns. Lots of people own guns. Yet we are in top 10 safest countries in the world. It's the people who are the problem, not weapons. I live in a gun-free country. Crime does exist, but a shovel is usually slower than a gun. U.S. citizen. Retired military. Politically liberal. Gun owner. I think the biggest problem in the US is not so much guns but gun culture. It's how the gun lobby and an entire subset of the population has romanticized a tool for killing. We have a lot of problems in this country between media radicalizing the public against each other, inadequate mental health care, financial inequality. It is a breeding ground for violence. But then you add in a culture that makes highly efficient killing machines easily accessible to these same people and you have a recipe for disaster. I have my guns. They are locked up. I am fully trained on how to use and maintain them. I don't want my kids getting hands on them. I don't want a thief getting hands on them. They are present for their intended purpose and I hope I'm never put in a position where I have to use them. Gun philosophy in the US has merits but has one unavoidable key flaw. People, as a collective, are unreliable. I can ensure that I am trained and responsible. I can make sure my family is trained and responsible. But I have no control over anyone else. If my neighbor is an idiot or having a mental health crisis, what will they do with having access to a tool that kills easily, at range with very little effort? I live in Finland, where guns aren't rare, but getting shot by one is. I don't think that the guns are a problem, but rather guns in hands of maniacs. Also, the gun culture here is very much based around tactical shooting sports for reservists as well as hunting, and not associated with street culture. Most men get to play with all kinds of guns in the military to the point of boredom. So the novelty or any kind of cool factor wears out. I live in Canada. I'm never worried about a shooting. Doesn't cross my mind. I'm in Canada. I don't feel unsafe from guns. I feel unsafe from not having a proper system in place and allowing the mentally ill and drug addicts roam the street hours after they've been arrested and released. Violent stranger crimes are on the rise. Back to guns. I don't put myself in situations where I'll piss off a bad guy with guns. Law-abiding citizens keep their guns at home locked up, and I don't interact with gang members. If you live in a high violent crime area, you'd probably want a gun to defend yourself. If you don't, you probably don't get that. If guns magically disappeared from all of inner city Baltimore, I still wouldn't feel safe walking around. The gangs and homeless scare me much more than the guns themselves. I'm in the UK and feel pretty safe. Except for occasions when the terror alert goes up, then you see police with guns in railway stations and that makes me feel unsafe.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.